Hello guys and girls, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Rome 2 tournament battle. In this battle I'm playing against Armenian King. I am commanding the Lusitani, Armenian King is commanding the Iceni. And no, I'm not the Prussian Prince, but I wanted to steal his intro. Sorry Prussian, but I'm not really sorry.
Understood.
So the Battle of Yathrib, this is an old goodie from the Scan Invitational, this map. Fairly unbalanced, as you can see. The Prussian Prince is starting down here, down by the bottom of the slope. He brought Lusitani. He has 4 Scutari cavalry. He has 4 Iberian slingers. Lusitani nobles. So he has 4 nobles and let's see, 4 nobles and 4 veteran shield warriors. His general is a strategist, I believe. With the second wind, works great together with the headhunt and the battle rhythm, makes these units very deadly. Now, Lusitani was never a top tier faction, lacking good heavy mid-tier cavalry support and being very squishy. I mean, these Lusitani nobles, although their melee attack is great, their armor and shield leave something to be desired, and the same can be said for the veteran shield warriors. They need to get a good charge, if not they die, and none of these units have a shield wall. So, for the Armenian King, he brought Iceni. He has only 2 Briton slingers, which is surprising. They can kill a lot of Lusitani. 3 levy freemen, of course. He has some chosen swords here. Heroic nobles, chosen swords, heroic nobles. Then he has some veteran riders, heavy melee cavalry. This army is very similar. Although these armies are very similar, although Armenian King has a very important meat shield in front of his units, a luxury that the Prussian Prince doesn't have, and the Prussian Prince needs to get his charges off in order to do well here. Armenian has 3 Briton slingers actually, and the Briton slingers only 23 missile damage. They will lose out to the Iberians of the Prussian Prince, but he actually has 2 Iberians and, well, what? Okay, he has... Sorry about that, he only has Iberian slingers. I thought he had the Balearics. Well, he has 4 Iberians, and that changes things quite a bit, because these Briton slingers are better than the Iberian slingers, and in the superior position that they have here, they are going to be able to do a lot of damage to the skirmishers of the Prussian Prince. We might see these units sort of cancel each other out, but the Briton slingers are very important for Armenian King. Although Armenian King can stop charges with his levy freemen, if he manages to do that and send in his chosen swords, the chosen swords will win. If the Armenian King doesn't get charges and gets charged, then these chosen swords will die. But overall, the Armenian King has, let's see, he has 5 cavalry units against the 4 cavalry units of the Prussian Prince. His general is less vulnerable, heroic nobles, but if this was just a mad rush, then I see Armenian King taking this because of the levy freeman. Now the Prussian Prince is being smart here. He is moving up towards the red line, trying to get a better position on the Armenian King. If he could turn this battle around completely, Armenian King could find himself in a lower position, although he could just withdraw here, but then the Prussian Prince could move around here. So one problem with moving fast like the Prussian Prince is doing here is that this will tire out his men. And tiring out your men on a hot desert map is not something you want to do. Both very good players in this matchup, using factions that are sort of mid-tier factions. They are not top tier, not up there with Tylus, Boii and Rome, but they are contenders for sure. It's just that against Rome, Boii and Tylus, they fall a bit short in the cavalry department and in the mid-tier sword department. And as we know, mid-tier swords win battles together with good cavalry support. Let's see, it looks like the Iberian slingers are going to start moving up here, and the Prussian prince is slowly gaining a terrain advantage here if the Armenian king doesn't pull back here. These Iberian slingers are about to be in range of some good units here. The chosen sword band taking fire, and this is quite dangerous for the Armenian king because some of the units of the Prussian prince, they are getting good positions here, but these units will now be able to focus on, let's see, not firing on the Lusitanian nobles. They are winded already. These Iberian slingers are taking fire. So if the Armenian king focuses on... Oh shit. Oh well, I thought the game stopped there. If the Armenian king focuses here, he might get local missile superiority, but in my opinion, it's actually good for the Prussian prince that Armenian king chooses to focus on these Iberian slingers. Being very smart, pushing up the levy freemen, getting shots into the back of the Iberian slingers, negating their shields. Smartly done there, and this is what having expendable levy freemen allow you to do. It allows you to trade well in the skirmish, but the Prussian prince is moving up heavily on the flanks here. Only these levy freemen here to stop the Prussian prince, and the Prussian prince pushing up his Scutari cavalry very aggressively because all of the skirmishers of Armenian king are down here. The Scutari cavalry gets hit by levy freemen, and the levy freemen do so much damage to them. Let's see here, the levy freemen get hit, but in come the veteran riders. Over here, levy freemen might get a javelin volley off on the Scutari cavalry. These veteran riders didn't manage to hit the Lusitani nobles, so the veteran riders will go down quickly. These veteran riders, what are they doing? Getting hit by precursors, not getting a good charge. They will do damage to the veteran shield warriors here, but Armenian king is quickly losing his cavalry. He's able to support though with chosen swords. This is very good for Armenian king, being able to send in chosen sword bands here. This unit going in completely unsupported, didn't manage to do anything. Down here, levy freemen getting hit by both, but the Prussian prince needs to be so careful here because his general could just get focused down by Britain slingers, and he's going to die so fast if that happens. Smashing in here is Armenian king with his veteran riders. Over here, he's losing cavalry really quickly. The Prussian prince just got better charges off. Heroic nobles and chosen swords blobbing up here against Lusitani nobles. And let's see another cavalry unit coming in here to stop these Lusitani nobles. I don't see what the Britain slingers are firing at. They should be firing at the Lusitani nobles of the Prussian prince. Chosen sword band getting a downhill charge into the Lusitani nobles. They're going to take a lot of casualties from that charge, but the Prussian prince is picking away at the cavalry of Armenian king. He doesn't have a lot of cavalry left on the field. These cavalry units are not being pulled out and engaging back in, which is a huge problem. The general, the heroic noble general of Armenian king charges into the Scutari cavalry. The Scutari cavalry is going to take massive casualties in this fight. Over here, the Prussian prince is doing a better job, moving around the flanks with Scutari cavalry. The Lusitani nobles are dropping. They're winning against the veteran riders, the chosen sword bands. The chosen sword band are fighting. Let's see. I don't see them using shield wall at this point, but all of these units from the Prussian prince, a rear charge here could be massive. But the Prussian prince is running towards the Britain slingers. Getting a downhill charge here is so important for the Prussian prince. Manages to hit several units. The kills are decent, not as good as if it was heavy cavalry doing that charge. Lusitani nobles are now winning against chosen swords. Veteran riders getting into the Iberian slingers. But this is massive. The Britain slingers of Armenian getting routed off the field and not getting the kills they need, not able to snipe the general here of the Prussian prince. And I think Armenian king lost. I mean, he could have gained such an advantage by sniping this general here. Now, the general of Armenian king is doing a better job against the Lusitani nobles here. These Scutari cavalry about to break off the field. Getting in these chosen sword bands against the Iberian slingers. Good job by Armenian king. But the Scutari cavalry are wrecking so many of these slingers, and the importance of slingers in late game against Lusitani cannot be underestimated. The Scutari cavalry only at 16 men, but here comes a unit of veteran shield warriors If they get the charge against the Chosen Sword Band, they will wreck them. It doesn't look like the Chosen Sword Band gets attack orders on these Veteran Shield Warriors, and we should see the Veteran Shield Warriors get a lot of kills in this engagement. Shield Wall being used by the Chosen Swords. Things have turned around over here, as they often do for Lusitani. They will end up winning on the charge, but in prolonged combat they will start to struggle. No shield wall is very dangerous. The Heroic Nobles under missile fire, but the Heroic Nobles can take some missile fire and still survive. These two slingers will now be able to rain fire, 3 slingers actually, will now be able to rain fire down into the Lusitani Noble blob, which they should be doing. But still, Skutari Cavalry, men left. They are taking fire now, so they might break before they make it into the Briton Slingers. Yeah, looks like, yeah, this unit is going to rout. And now Armenian King is turning it around over here. And what looked pretty good for the Prussian Prince here, suddenly doesn't look so good. Lusitani nobles are getting, well, the Skutari Cavalry managed to get in there, but look at all of the mid-tier swords up here for Iceni and Armenian King. Just, he has too much left. The Prussian Prince, judging by the kills on the Iberian Slingers, they can't possibly have enough ammunition left to deal with the mid-tiers of Armenian King here. And if the general dies, which he's about to, then these slingers might just rout off the field. 185 kills on the Lusitani nobles. Very nice, but let's see if they're taking any... Yeah, they're taking significant missile fire here, and that just makes them drop so quickly. Missiles are the bane of Lusitani. Headhunt being used, so the general won't break for some time, but he's just going to die. These slingers are paying for themselves handsomely in the late game. So, enemy victory for Armenian King here. Decently close battle, but the Briton slingers paid for themselves really well in the late game. And although these Lusitani nobles and veteran shields, they are great on the charge if they can break an enemy quickly, but creating these blobs with levy freemen and to some extent the cavalry meant that the superior resilience of heroic nobles and chosen swords carried the day for Armenian King. But these players have more games to play, fortunately, so let's have a look at what happens in game number 2. Strength and Honor. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe.